Hi, today on Achieve Financial Freedom, we have the one and the only Ty Williams. Now, as a proud member of Nest Realty and a board director for the Durham's Regional Association of Realtors, Ty is deeply committed to advancing equity and inclusion within the real estate industry and the communities he serves. Known for his eye for opulence and authentic approach to service, he transforms every real estate experience into a personalized high-touch journey marked by class, creativity, and care. I am so honored that Ty is joining us today to share his journey for what it is and what it takes to have your own personal brand.
See you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. My target audience are for people who are entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and I thought of you, Ty. I know with you being a realtor, the thing that I thought about that would help the viewers is your personal brand, right? You work for a company, but by far people are buying into you as Ty. So saying all of that, how did you even get started in the business of being a realtor? And once you thought about this is where I'm going, how did you get your first client?
So, so that you would ask that, I worked in healthcare for a very long time in pediatrics, and so I started there, and it was during COVID. I had COVID really bad, like I was a really sick person with COVID, and it was then where I realized, like, hey, at some point you have to do what you want to do. I think we get so caught up. I started with the state job when I was 18 years old. I'm a little country boy from Eastern North Carolina. So, people like us, just get a job. Just get you a job,
Right.
and especially get you some job security. And so, people hate to work for the state in 2004. Like, that was like, hey, let's do this. So it was what I was used to, is what I was accustomed to, but I realized I wanted to do something different. And so it was in 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. I was like, hey, let's take a chance. Let's take a chance on me. And I was like, listen, I got this set up so I can always come back here. Uh, I was very wise. I know I had some savings goals. I know we'll get to that. There was my bank account needed to look a certain type of way
Yeah.
before I did this full time, because I wanted to be responsible. And so I went into real estate, and my first client was actually, I actually had first two clients at the same time. It was a listing and a buyer, closed one day apart. But my first client, buyer client, was actually my best friend, her and her husband. So I was able to sell them a house. So I'm so grateful, because, I mean, let's just be honest. I'm not going to say I went into it knowing everything, but they gave me the grace to make my mistakes. They weren't strangers. So we had already built relationships. We had already built trust. So that made it so much easier. But yes, that's how I got here.
That's how you get. So that like I want to kind of pause and say you dropped that nugget of building trust and you started with people that you felt safe with. So is that a way for entrepreneurs who are trying to make a name for themselves? Like how would you say, is that the kind of a starting point or a good entry point to build start in your circle and then expand? Like what would you say?
I do, especially in real estate, I do believe, and I feel like it can go to any other platform that you are on, or any other business that you're in. People work with people that they can trust, or they, at least there has to, even if they've known you for 10 years or they just met you, there has to be something about you that people trust. And people know how to read you too. Let's be honest. People Google you, people look at sometimes before people meet you, they Google you, they look you up. But at the end of the day, people work with people that they can trust. And I do think starting your business with people that you trust, because even if they don't use your business, let's say that you are a general contractor, these people may not use you to build them a home or to renovate their kitchen. But what they will do is, because they've already developed trust, when they hear someone in need of a GC, or need of, hey, or talking about, hey, I need my kitchen renovated, they will say, hey, I know this person, I know this guy, I know this lady. They're a great GC, because they have already built trust. So sometimes people build off, new clients will build off the trust that other people already have for you. So that's why I'm big on keeping my name clean, keeping my name clear, making sure I do good business, because we are in a referral business. And if I'm great to you and develop trust with you, then I can meet a stranger that may have known you and they've already developed that level of trust through you.
It's just a circle of trust, right? Because
Absolutely. A
you
circle of
probably
trust.
almost don't need vetting, right? Because like I was referred to you by one of your colleagues, and because I had trust and rapport with him, when he said, "Hey, I have someone that could work with you," I didn't even look, I didn't Google you.
That's the point. That's the
I didn't
point.
Google you. I didn't
Right
have
there.
to. And it was a great partnership. So when you say, when you're talking about building, what builds trust? Like going back to that, like what builds trust with clients?
I think consistency, being consistent, and for one, being honest, because people can tell honesty, people feel honesty, people sense honesty. We're in a world now where people talk about energies and vibes. We used to call it, we used to just simply call it a personality, but energy,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, whatever, either one works. But I think people pick those up, and just you showing up as yourself, when you're showing up as a different person, or you showing up as someone else, or people can, most of the time people can read that. And I think just showing up as yourself, just being you and being honest with people. One thing I do, even myself, appreciate about me, and I'll tell anybody, and I probably said this to you all when we were working together: if I don't know, I'm not gonna bluff it. That fake it till you make it sometimes doesn't always work, because someone's
Right.
gonna know you're faking it, and when they realize that you're faking it, they'll never know if you made it, because they're gonna walk out the door before they get to the made it part. So sometimes that whole fake it till you make it myth, we got to get it out of our head, because sometimes people gonna see the fake in you, and they not gonna stay around for the rest of it. You might make it one day, but they'll never know it, because they like, yeah, we're done. But um, but I
You're
say
like,
that
you know what? I don't have time for
I
this.
don't have time for you to make it. I need you to have made it already. I don't have time. So, but I think that sometimes people can see that. And I am big on saying what I don't know. If I don't know something about a house, if I don't know how this works, I will boldly sometimes say that, hey, I don't know. But listen, now I'm not going to just shrug it off. I don't know, but I'm going to say, hey, I don't know, but give me an hour. Let me make some phone calls. Let me send some emails, or let's find this out together. And I think when people see that you can be vulnerable, it sometimes show, hey, if this person is willing to be vulnerable with me and say he's a professional, but can still say, I don't have the answers, I don't know. There's nothing, that makes me more nervous than someone that knows everything. You know, people, jack of all trades, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none. I get nervous when I meet people. They can cook, they can build houses, they can put up ceiling fans, they can work on cars, they can lay bricks, they can bake pies, they can put up wallpaper. You need a shed built, they can do that. They can make you some grass. If you never had grass, they know how to make grass. When I run across people like that, I get nervous. But when people realize that you're vulnerable and say, I don't know, I'm not sure, that sometimes I really feel builds trust with people.
Oh God. So we talked about how, first we're talking about personal branding, and how you get started is kind of look at your inner circle, and from that expand upon and stay true to yourself. And you will continue to not only attract but keep the clients, or whatever you're selling, what you're doing, it'll continue to kind of pour into you. So that's
Right.
just a good funnel for how you continue to have longevity in whatever space that you're working in.
Absolutely. And I,
Okay.
I would say that, when it comes to even the business, I'm not saying I'm, this long time, I'm only 5 years going on 6 years in, but I'm just now starting to get repeat clients. I'm getting clients that are coming back. That shows, people can work with you one time and you never see them again. But when people come back, that lets you know that, hey, there was some level of trust there. So I kind of pat myself on the back. It's like, you called me again. Oh, great.
Listen, I told you we was shopping for my forever home. Now I don't know. Like, so it's true. It's true. Like everything you're saying resonates about how you make someone feel when you are making such a big purchase. to not feel the pressure or not feeling like you are only in it to sell me something, but you showed up in a way that you took time to understand who I was as a client, who my husband was as a client, and how can you help. People don't forget that. And so much so that you're like, you know what, maybe I'm not quite ready for this, and it's okay. But to know that you have someone that is going to be in your corner is, I feel like, what your clients, I know what I personally felt, it will keep me always, repeat client, and or someone who's going to always kind of support and send people your way. So, and that's like, as I've talked to different entrepreneurs, hearing word of mouth and referrals is the name of the game. That's the currency. That is the
Absolutely.
currency. Referrals, you could put out all the ads, but I don't know who Ty Williams is, outside on that ad. Oh, it looks nice and it caught my attention. But at the end of the day, you're going to go in your phone and say, who do I know who may know a person?
Right.
Right.
Right. So true.
So, and talking about the building of the trust, with you being in the real estate market, there's the highs and there's the lows. And for that, for you, it's connected to your income. So speak to, how do you prepare yourself when you have such a high, and then there's going to be valleys and there's going to be peaks of time where it's really slow? Are you saving? Are you investing? Do you have other avenues? Are you speaking, like, to kind of bridge those gaps when there is a low point from a sales
And
perspective?
understood. And yes, there are highs and there are lows. There are really good seasons. There are really low seasons. There are really good months, and there are some months you'll do 3 or 4 closings, and you might go 2 months without a closing. So what I do, and this may not be super prolific to your listeners, it may not be wow factor, but I live in a world, and I've had to learn this, of I don't have it. I don't. At least not for you. And I think what and it just speaks to having to understand that, I grew up, not with much. Grateful for my parents that provided all they could, but we were
Yeah.
just not, this, we were not a wealthy family. Didn't come from a wealthy background. And one thing, if we can just be super real and authentic up here, is when you have had to work and get what you have, the last thing you want to do is not have it. So I think sometimes going to a place of, it's nothing like going to purchase something and you can't get it because your credit score says you can't get it. Or if you see something that you want to do and can't afford it, because your money says. And I understand that, but I had to do the work, saving, investing, working on my credit, had to do the work, investing in myself. I think sometimes when we say investing, we think buying houses, we think doing, but sometimes investing in you, learning, getting to know you, getting to know the business, investing in myself. I had to learn to do that. So when I have a whole lot of money, and when the money starts looking funny, I've set myself up to the times where, where money isn't coming in like it once did. And I go back to my point of saying, sometimes you just not just tell other people you don't have it, but sometimes tell yourself you don't have it. You don't have it to buy those shoes. You don't have it to go there tonight. You don't have it to go out to eat tonight. You don't have it to make that particular trip. Because I often say this when it comes to trips and things like that. Makes you got to live when you get back. It doesn't matter
Yes.
how great the resort is. It doesn't matter how nice that water is on that beach. Is your water going to be nice when you come home to turn it on? It doesn't.
It's gonna
It
be
doesn't.
old.
Right, okay. It doesn't matter how great the view of the ocean is. When you get home, are your lights going to be on so you can see the view of your kitchen? That so when you think of that, hey, what is my view going to be like when I get back? So I'm always kind of thinking ahead, thinking about the months ahead. Hey, even real estate, it's a known thing that even around this time of year, November, December, January, that business slows down. People are settled in their homes. No one's trying to move during the holidays. People are settled. So with that being said, I just try to make sure I look ahead, and sometimes it means living below your means.
I mean, that's good. Like, it sounds like what you're saying is set boundaries with not only yourself, but set boundaries with everybody else when it comes to what you can and can't do financially, because it may not necessarily be in a state of I don't have, and it may be I've got other things that are important to me. It might not be important to you, but like I am trying to save to get whatever you're trying to do, and
Yes.
I have learned that you don't have to explain yourself to people.
No,
You
no, no, no.
don't, like, you
You
know, you
do
get to
not.
a certain you get to a certain age and it's like, you know what, I don't care, like I
You get to, I think I'm turning 40 in January. And I think I
okay.
was telling one of my friends, she turned 40 a couple months ago. And I was like, something is happening. I don't know what's going on, but something is happening. And you learn that no is true. You heard it said before, but you learn that no is a complete sentence. And I just don't have to, you don't have to explain yourself. You just don't. Because what people will sometimes do is they will, and I'm in a business where people can almost count your pockets.
Mm,
If I close on a sale, my clients see my commission.
right.
People, sometimes, most of the time it's off what people think you get. People will see it that you close on the house. They can see it on Zillow and they start doing all these percentages. Oh, you made this amount of money. And it's like, no, there were so many other things that came along with that. So that pop that you thought was this big was actually this big. But they'll count your money and they will feel like, because, ooh, you close. Oh, great. You close on this, you close on that. Oh, that's 10, that's 20, that's 30. You made 30. They will do that. And sometimes you have to, like you said, just have to make it known that yes, I did it. I made it. It was me. It was me. So that means when me make it, that means it's for me. It's
Right,
for me.
right, right. Not for
What's
you.
important,
Like,
like you said, what's important to me. And
yes.
again, even in to any entrepreneur, you have to understand that, especially working commission based, it's one of those things that if we're not closing, if you're not that GC, if you're not renovating the kitchen, whatever, anything that you do, even if you cosmetologist, if you're not doing hair, it's a good chance that you may have other investment and other things happening, but you're not getting your true pay, your true bread and butter. So whereas you have people that may do a 9 to 5 and they know, hey, I'm getting paid next Tuesday, and they know how much they're getting paid. I might get paid tomorrow and may not get another check until January. So and I think that's, I'm trying, hopefully other entrepreneurs are probably like, I'm so glad you said this. You can clip this part out and send it to your friends so you don't got to explain it anymore. That just because we don't always know when we're getting paid. So we may have to hold on for the check that you have to hold on for 2 weeks. We may have to hold on to it for a month to 2 months. So yeah,
It's
I no,
real. It is. It is so real. And I'm glad you say that. Like we spoke about kind of what it takes to gain trust, to build, to understand. You got to kind of prepare yourself for the future, set boundaries. Like all of those things are what helps you be successful.
yes,
And I'm learning as I go, but it keeps continuing to resonate as I talk to other entrepreneurs or people who have to go out and are commission based income. I call you guys entrepreneurs as well, because you determine, what that looks like on your month to month, your week to week, and it's real, and that deserves kind of its own place in itself. So I thank you for this candid. I knew it would be of some laughs in here, but at the same time, it would be some truth and some value. So thank you for sharing that with my viewers. And I want to, before leaving, want to offer you a chance. Like, how do they stay in touch with you, Ty?
yes, I would love that. Again, this is a referral based business, so I would love for you to reach out to me. You can find me mostly on social media. It's Ty the Realtor, TYE _ the Realtor, Ty the Realtor. You can always call me. My number is out there. I don't keep it secret. It's 919-949-9359. You can email me at Ty Williams, Ty.Williams, that's TYE.WILLIAMS at Nest, NEST, Realty, REALTY.com.
Thank you. This has been a pleasure.
Thank
Have a
you.
great one, Ty.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Hey, take care.
You too.
Bye. All right.